What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode with my pal Alex and Feisty Pants.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Alex's Toy Show. Today, we are debunking... Actually, we're not debunking anything. We're throwing out a couple of conspiracy theories, a couple of ideas, because this is what I think about at 4 o'clock in the morning. Star Wars! Ta-da! All right, somebody roll the crawl up, and we have the whole Star Wars theme and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so... here we go. Episode 3, right? That was the end-all of all things Jedi Temple. Anakin turns to the dark side. He becomes Darth Vader, and he kills all the Jedi. What else happens? Hold on. I wrote it down. I got pages of notes. Here we go. Obi-Wan leaves him for dead on the volcano planet. Padme gives birth to the twins, but they die. Or she dies, I'm sorry. Senator Bail Organa and Bray Organa, they take Leia. They give Luke to Owen and Beru Lars, his actual family. Yoda retreats to Dagobah. I figure all this time he spends on Dagobah, he gets to learn more about the Force, otherwise known as Chuck Norris. Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Organa, they start the rebellion, basically. This is what they do at the end of Episode 3 there. Any surviving Jedi, you would have to think they didn't kill everyone, because people keep coming out of the woodwork. And people did survive. Look at Ahsoka Tano. She appears in Star Wars Rebels, right? And Kanan, who is in Rebels, he's a Jedi. And there's a couple of Sith apprentices from the Clone Wars that you can assume, lived, because Darth Vader didn't actually kill them all. And then it closes with Tarkin and building the Death Star, and they're looking at it, the Emperor and Vader. So what I want to know is how we get from the end of Episode 3 into Rebels, into Rogue One, and how it eventually just ends with the beginning of Star Wars Episode 4, the original Star Wars: A New Hope. That's what I want to know. There's a series of events that I need to see play out, and I'm just curious to see how it plays out. All right, so basically, here's my notes for Episode 3, and you have a couple of planets involved here. You have Alderaan, Dagobah, Tatooine, Naboo, Coruscant, which is pretty much just run by, not run by the Empire, but I mean the Empire occupies it, If Palpatine is the grand of all, he's the Grand Wizard. I don't know what you want to call him. He's got so many titles. He's the guy who's calling the shots. The Galactic Court is on Coruscant, among everything else that revolves around Coruscant. You gotta figure it's at least under Imperial occupation, if not an Imperial planet. Alright, so Star Wars Rebels. It's a TV show that's better than you think. But they're all dead, right? Because, alright, well, you can't rewrite history and just expect them to appear in Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, or A New Hope. However, with Episode 7, The Force Awakens, that came out, you thought, well, maybe one person, at least, might appear somewhere in the background of the Rebel scenes, Maybe somewhere. But no, nobody appeared. The only thing that, and I think fans did it, is that on Endor, the Rebel forces on Endor, led by Han Solo, that take over the bunker, one Rebel commando in his, camouflage poncho has a white beard. Guess who else has a white beard? Captain Rex, the clone trooper. Yeah, so they're like, oh, maybe Captain, but he doesn't make it to Episode 7, at least not that we see. So, so if you haven't seen Star Wars Rebels, the first season was pretty good. There's a lot of, groundwork being laid out. Second season kind of dragged along until it got to, but I understand why the second season dragged along. A lot of people said it was drawn out and it was starting to suck and blah. I'm like, no, they're building the holy shit moment. That's what they're doing. So the season 2 ends with they're going to Malachor to seek out just knowledge on how to defeat the Sith, because that's a big deal right now for them. So it's Kanan and the boy's name is Ezra Bridger and Ahsoka Tano. So you got 3 Jedis, and you're going out there to Malachor, the home world of the Sith. Is not a good scene. Chopper's there. He's their little droid, and they run into Darth Maul, who apparently is looking for the same thing they're looking for, just for different reasons. And Vader tracks them down. You know, there's Inquisitors on their trail leading back information to Vader. And Vader, the Inquisitors get taken out, but Vader and Atano, oh, they have it out. And, you know, shit happens. And then more or less, you know, they're building Season 3 now. They're going to end it. I guess at the end of Season 3 is going to be the end for Rebels. Because it makes sense. Because you have Rogue One coming out. You know what happens in Star Wars A New Hope. And, you know, things need to wrap up. And then there's going to be like another animated series, which is great. I can't wait to see it. So if you guys haven't seen the finale, it's called Twilight of the Apprentice. And it's this series, Season 2 season finale. And then catch up on Season 3. Pretty much nothing yet has really happened in Season 3. There's a couple things going on. You know, there's Grand Admiral Thrawn. Grand Admiral Thrawn is a key character. I don't think they're going to kill him. Because in the old lore, as I call it, which is now no longer canon after Disney took over, Grand Admiral Thrawn took over the Empire after the events of Return of the Jedi. And he ruled for a good while. And he's like this brilliant military strategic command brain. Took over the whole Empire. Anyway, back to this. Obi-Wan Kenobi is scheduled to appear in the Rebels. So, which to me makes, like, Star Wars, the original Star Wars, A New Hope, it makes that all the more exciting, because it's like, oh, well, here's Obi-Wan, just, you know, hanging out in a cave, looking after Luke Skywalker all his life, and all of a sudden, R2-D2 comes along, and he's like, you know, got the little message that says, Princess Leia says, Obi-Wan, I need your hope, and blah, 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 and he's thinking, and all of a sudden, like that, he's convinced he's got to go take on the Empire again. He knows what he's up against. They epic failed it at the end of Episode 3, and they had to fall into seclusion. So I think they're setting up a small story for the end of Star Wars Rebels that will help make his decision seem more plausible in A New Hope. So that's pretty cool. I can't wait to see what happens. Now, I'm guessing these people, I'm guessing they're not going to appear in Rogue One, because I believe that's going to be separate creators, separate stories, and I don't think they're going to jive. So my guess is these people, the cast of this show, Kanan Jarrus, he's the Jedi that kind of got out on his own. Sabine Wren is from Mandalore. She's a former stormtrooper, I believe. Trainee, maybe. Hera Syndulla, she's a Twi'lek from that planet, you know. Zeb Orrelios, Chopper the droid. And then they pick up this kid, Ezra Bridger, on one of their planets. What they did was they started out intercepting just Imperial missions, just to say, hey, fuck you, and your day is ruined. And then it just led to a bigger stage, and now they're forming, you know, what's going to become the rebellion. And I'm guessing these people don't make it, because I mean, unless they're going to be in Rogue One, and I'll find out, you know, this weekend. I'm going to see Rogue One with the whole family. Me, Feisty Pants, the original champ, Mr. Connecticut, E-Rocks, and B1 Connecticut. And Mr. Connecticut is my other brother who lives in Connecticut. That's his name. So, I mean, unless they appear in Rogue One, I'm guessing they're going to get killed off by the end of the season and series. And that would cause for something. Or they're going to get killed off somewhere. So, which brings us to Rogue One. Now, here, look at all my notes on Rogue One. Hold on. Here's my notes on Star Wars Rebels. All right. So with Rogue One, now here's what's going on. Basically, the Death Star is being built. The Rebellion doesn't know that. They are like, well, now, you know, what do? We're biding our time. We're intercepting missions. We're just going to go ship to ship, something. Well, shit happens, and I feel this is what happens. Felicity Jones plays the main character, Jyn Erso, and she goes and leads a mission to intercept the plans that are being transmitted about whatever is going on. There's a transmission intercepted from her father, saying that there's going to be a major weapons test held by the Empire at such and such date, location, maybe, and Jyn Erso's team is set out to go intercept whatever's going on, or observe, or find out whatever they can. Okay, it turns out to be the Death Star. I'm guessing, because, again, these people are not in The Force Awakens. They're clearly not in the original trilogies from 100 years ago. I'm guessing they don't make it, because the only people that are in the original movies is Bail Organa. He's a founding member of the Rebellion, right? You remember that? Him, Yoda, and Obi-Wan. Mon Mothma. If you don't know who Mon Mothma is, look in Return of the Jedi when the Galactic Fleet comes together. The Rebellion Fleet. Whatever we call them, the Rebel Fleet comes together, and Admiral Akbar's there, and he's like, oh, this, and he's got the eyes out like this, and Mon Mothma is the lady who speaks first, and she's in those white robes, and she's got the short red hair. That's Mon Mothma. She's a rebel leader from the day one. That's why she's in Rogue One. She sends Jyn Erso out to get whatever's going on here, and they're gonna find out that it's the Death Star, and they're gonna be like, holy shit, it's that's no moon. You know what I mean? And I feel this is how it's gonna end. So if you're not sure, or you don't want to know, or you're gonna go see it for yourself, this is just my guess. I have no proof. This is just me thinking at 4 o'clock in the morning about Star Wars. They transmit the plans. You know, they steal the plans of the Death Star. They transmit the plans to Princess Leia's ship that you see in the beginning of A New Hope. And then Jyn Erso and her team get destroyed. Because they're not in it. They're not in it. They're not in The Force Awakens. Nobody's in The Force Awakens from these original shows. Are they? In The Force Awakens, let's see. You have a couple of characters that you have to assume are somebody, right? And then you have Han Solo, then you have Princess Leia. So you figure out, Kylo Ren is their son. In the comics, they had two children, or two sets of twins. It doesn't matter anymore. Kylo Ren is their son, and he's been turned to the dark side. Well, by who? Commander Snoke, or whatever the frig his name is, Snooky. What if? Okay, now this is a stretch, and I'm stretching, right? Going back to Rebels, Star Wars Rebels, which is going to conclude this season. Star Wars Rebels, the current situation is at the end of Season 2, Darth Maul and the kid, Ezra Bridger, they're out to seek knowledge on how to destroy the Sith. Ezra because he's part of the rebellion, and Maul because the rebellion, because the Sith took away his entire world, his life, his people. They're all dead. They ruined his life, basically. Not to say that Obi-Wan chopped him in half. And how did he get out of there? How? That is a separate question for another time. Like how you get Luke's lightsaber. It fell to the depths beneath Cloud City. Where did you find that lightsaber? I need to know these things. Anyway, so Darth Maul and his mechanical legs, survive the fall, at Naboo in Episode 1, and he appears in the Clone Wars, and now he's in Star Wars Rebels. He's going after Sith technology to help take out the Sith, to revenge his people. The kid, Ezra, is just strong with the Force. Not like Luke Skywalker strong, but I'm thinking somewhat strong. Because the Force is still out of balance. Vader brought balance to the Force, but I believe that there's not really balance. I believe the job is not yet done. So, and the job is that he should have killed the Emperor, and then he should have been the last one left over. However, at the end of the events of Return of the Jedi, you see that he, he brought balance to the Force. Meaning, he killed the Emperor, he threw him over the edge, he then died, from injury, and then that left Luke Skywalker. Now, what Luke Skywalker should have done was mind his own damn business and go live out his life on a foreign planet. And that would have been it. And then the balance would have been brought to the Force because the balance would have been 0. Right? Okay, so the kid, Ezra Bridger, powerful with the Force. And what he does, I believe, by the end of this season, Season 3, the series finale of Star Wars Rebels, I believe he's going to become so powerful, but get swayed to the dark side. And he's going to kind of hang out in the background until Episode 7 rolls around, and he's Commander Snoke! Holy shit, right? That's... Now, I have no proof to that. I mean, this guy, Snooky guy, could be anybody. But if you're looking to tie ends together, if you're looking to tie up loose ends, and if you're looking to blow the mind of the average fan, that would do it. That would do it. Just saying. Alright, I gotta get to work. I gotta finish my coffee. I gotta play some Pokemon Go. I gotta go catch my daily event here. And, shit, actually, I did catch some Pokemon, and it didn't say the daily streak. I wonder if the daily streak is over. This one time, I walked by a log, and I rolled over that log. And underneath, I found a tiny little branch. And I said, that log had a child.